All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. What I'm going to be talking about in this lesson is how the Israelites, right, the people that are speaking the truth about the Bible, man, a real prophet will have the vision that's the most in the future, right? Because you might have some of these financial people that they'll say, oh yeah, they're going to be giving us a CBDC. Oh yeah, and you know what else? They're going to be trying to ask people to take this thing inside of this part of their body in order to be able to use this thing. This is an outrage. This is a travesty, right? They'll be talking like that, right? But then you won't hear them say anything about the judgment that Yahweh's going to give to people for taking that. They'll just say, oh, you'll be tracked. You're not going to be able to pay for anything without nobody knowing. They'll be able to shut you off if you question society and all this. They'll say it like that, right? Or you might have people that are about they understand war, they understand the trajectory of what war is gonna go, where wars are gonna go, right? But they won't say, yeah, and this world war that's gonna happen, if it happens, is gonna cause for the Messiah to show back up on the earth for the second time after 2,000 years not being on the earth, after spending a whole 2 days with his father, Yahweh. You know, they ain't going to say that, right? They ain't going to say that, man. Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Surely Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So the secret things and the understanding of the ultimate, furthest distance prophecies or visions have been given to the Israelites. Although there'll be some people on the earth that share some of the things that we believe, but we can still see further than that, right? For example, Esau and his stargazers, monthly prognosticators and all those people, right? They can see certain visions of the future, right? But they can't see past a certain point. And that's how they've been able to get this far, because they can see and they have an understanding of certain things. But some of the things that they've seen that they think are going to be happening in the further future are lies, right? They was given some truth, and that's how they've been able to get this far. They've been told, oh, you'll be able to make this, you'll be able to make that, you'll be able to overcome this people, you'll be able to overcome that people, you'll be able to make this technology, you'll be able to make that weapon, you'll be able to make this weapon. If you go into war with these people, it will be well with you. They've been told all of this. But the part where they've been told that they're going to be able to win from doing all of this stuff, that's a lie. All that stuff that you was able to do was so that you could be worthy of the destruction that you're going to receive. This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 11. In fact, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee, because they had knowledge and understanding to see certain things, right? But they couldn't go past a certain point. In fact, let me go to verse 9. But these two things shall come unto thee. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in a day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. So because they've been able to get away with sorceries, enchantments, wickedness, and they've had certain wisdom and knowledge, right? They've thought that they can see the future in the ultimate way. So they'll be able to put into the Simpsons, oh, this tower's going to fall. Oh, this person's going to be president. Oh, this particular death's going to take place in this particular way, right? They've been able to actually control that and perform it, right? But the parts where they're thinking that we're going to not be the Israelites of Yahweh and end up getting a new covenant, that's all lies that they've been told about that bit coming to pass, that they're going to be able to stop that happening. No, that's not going to work, because they don't have the furthest vision of the future, man. They can't see the part that we can see taking place, right? They've seen all the things where they've been able to be winning and ruling, that we've seen with our eyes, and we can read about in our scriptures, right? But the part after, where they end up in captivity, they can't see that bit, because if they did, and if they could, they would stop what they're doing right now. Verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And that's why they're not going to understand. They're going to be like, what? How is this happening? Why is this happening? This goes against what prophecies we were told were going to come to pass. Because they didn't understand that their prophecies, some of them were true and some of them were lies. But the things that they can find about themselves that they say are true, we can find examples in our scriptures as to why they was able to do these things, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And the chapter that I'm reading right now in Isaiah 47 also explains why they had the power to rule, right? The book of Obadiah also goes into that. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to pull it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. So they're not going to understand why these things are happening, because they couldn't see this part of the prophecy. So when they heard us say that, because they had other things in mind, they was like, nah, that's ridiculous. That's not going to happen. What you mean Yahweh Shai is going to come back? Nah, that ain't true. What are you talking about? I don't believe that. Verse 11, stand thou with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So they're going to be made to speak to their so-called prophets and see if their prophets can get their so-called fake prophets, right? Well, they're not so-called fake prophets; they're real fake prophets. But they're gonna have to see if they can get their leaders out of the situation that they find themselves in, and they're not going to be able to. They're going to have to be made to be stuck in that situation, man. They're not going to come out of it. They're going to stay there and dwell in it for the rest of time, man, until they're destroyed. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 3, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear. I'll read it again. And it shall come to pass that it shall come to pass in a day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers, but they didn't think that their scepter was going to be broken though. They thought they was going to win. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and unhindered. They're going to be like, how is this happening, man? The Edomites ain't going to understand it, man. And even these people of the world, these heathens, they ain't going to understand it. We're going to understand it because we've been speaking about it now. We've been expecting this end. But they have not been expecting this end. They've been expecting that they was going to oppress us and win, which is the same thing that Pharaoh thought he was going to be able to do. And we saw how it ended for him. But guess what? It's going to end worse for Esau. Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. So everyone's going to be celebrating the fall of Esau, man. Even all of the Edomite women that are made to be concubines for the Israelite men, right? They're going to even be happy. They're going to thank goodness that I'm away from this demon. And they ain't even going to be getting treated nowhere near the same level as any other level of concubine. And definitely not getting treated the same as any Israelite woman. But they're still going to be happy to not even be by you Edomites, man. They're going to be snitching on you if you try and run away. They're going to be being Karens to you. They're going to be looking down on you, like how our women look down on us right now. You know, like how you've made our women not trust that we're real men. You've said that we're oppressive and that we're this and we're that. Well, that same mindset is going to be in your women. And to a certain degree, it already is. It already is in your women to look outward from you to other men, even though you're in your power right now. You Edomites are never going to be any better than you are now. You can't get any better than this. This is your best. And it's really the best that any of these nations can be right now. But it's definitely not the best of what we can be, because we've got oppression coming at us from every angle, man. We can't even say anything. Everyone tries to stop us from opening stores, having businesses. They try and hinder us at every turn. So we can only get better than this. We can only get better, man. Verse 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, right? That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the seas thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners? Is this the oppressor? That's what they're going to be looking at you like, because you thought that you was going to win, man. Right? You're not going to understand how this stuff's happening, because you haven't had the visions of the future, the furthest ahead. And all these other nations, they're bogged out too, right? And they've trusted in the lies that you've told them. Revelation chapter 18, and this is after America is going to be destroyed, which is Babylon the Great. Revelation chapter 18 and verse 18, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Because all these other nations believe the lie of America, that it's the greatest nation in the world, it can't fall, right? Although they think, war might happen and all of this, they don't think that a whole nation can be rendered void, man. That a whole land can just be deleted off the face of the earth. People have heard what Yahweh did to Sodom and Gomorrah, but now that was ages ago. That was back in the book of Genesis, right? That was back in the beginning. Many times and many nations, many different kingdoms have rose up since then. So people have forgot about that, but they're going to see another example take place, man. They're going to see another example which is going to take place from things that humans built, rather than things that Yahweh made fall out of the sky from his own hand. Yahweh made men make this themselves to bring their destruction this time around. Verse 19, and they cast dung on their head, and they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and railing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness. Because America loves that luxury, man. Right? Cities like Vegas, Miami, Los Angeles, New York, right? It's expensive in those places to live, right? Even Texas is meant to be a place of of beauty and stuff like that, right? Where they've got, people say a term, everything's bigger in Texas. Now, I've never been to none of these places, but you can see about them on the TVs. You can see about them on the internet. You can see these places, Dubai is not the Mecca of or not the metropolis of the world, man. America is considered that, even still now. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God have avenged you on her. So we're gonna see, man. If we're of the elect, we're gonna see this place just fall, man. And everyone's gonna know that the Israelites had the true ultimate visions of the future. They're gonna know that the Israelites could see the furthest ahead. Because there's many people now that all of a sudden things are starting to take place in the world. They're saying, yeah, man, it's a bit dodgy what they're doing with this CBDC, Yeah, man, I think they're trying to, it's the elites. They're trying to shut down on the elites. It's the Matrix, bro. There's always going to be people saying that now. Now Andrew Tate made it popular to talk about a secret societies and all of that, but doesn't really want to go any deeper than that. He always tries to keep it at talking about some Matrix stuff. So he ain't real about it neither, man. Right? Even though he's an Israelite, he ain't real about it neither, man. He ain't real either. But because he's got money, people think he's just way smarter than he is, man. And then if you talk about him, if you ain't rich enough, people will say you're a hater. But let me get this anyway. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 14. Thus saith Yahweh, the labor of Egypt and merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee, in chains shall they come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, and there is none else, there is no power. So they're going to know that these people understand understood what was really going on in the world. They had the furthest visions of what the future beheld, man. Because many people now are starting to talk about the Charagma and are starting to talk about Revelation 13 and 16, right? But is everybody talking about chariots coming back to the earth? No. Is everybody talking about World War III is going to take place, and that World War III, and in particular, nuclear missiles being shot off, or ICBMs being shot off, in particular to America, right? That's going to cause for Yahweh Shai to return and gather his elect that are over there and everywhere else that they're scattered? Who's saying that? Is everybody saying that? No, they're not. Is everybody saying that Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are Israelites? No, they're not saying it. They're not. Everyone ain't saying that, man. And when it happens, everyone's going to know that the Israelites had the ultimate visions of the future, man. Because if somebody, let's say there's somebody right now, right? Let's say there's somebody right now that predicted the lottery numbers for the next 5 years. I ain't going to even say it like that. For the next 3 weeks, right? They predicted the lottery numbers 3 weeks in a row, right? People might say, wow, he's a prophet. But then the 4th week, they're wrong. You see? Or somebody was able to predict 25 football games in a row, exact score, every single possible bet that you could make on them. It was just able to predict all of them. Or they predicted every single basketball score for an entire season. Okay, they understood the future of that, but did they understand that Yahweh Shai is coming back? Did they have the visions that far ahead of the future? Did they understand that Esau is in fact Edom, and that he's going to go into captivity by the hands of the Israelites, and that every other nation is going to be made to pay for how they treated God's children? Did the world know that? So of course there's going to be people that might say, yeah, the CBDCs are going to be implemented and it's going to make people have to be not having cash anymore. There's going to be a cashless society. Okay, they can understand that. But did they understand that heavenly things are going to take place because of these earthly things that are taking place? And that these earthly things taking place have took place first in the heavenly realm and have been spoken about in the Bible, Revelation 13, verse 16 to verse 17. That's all to bring in this. Verse 15, verily thou art a power that hideth thyself, O power of Israel the Savior. All right, they're going to understand that Yahweh is invisible in terms of, or well, not invisible, that he hid himself from the world so that people could be proud. So that, because it was too scary for them to see him, man. Like, people really, like some people actually really think that we're just born on the earth and there's no such thing as good or bad. There's no such thing as right or wrong, right? Yet they feel wronged when certain things happen to them, though. And they don't like certain things happening to them, or they enjoy certain things taking place, yet they'll say in their bugged out mind, oh, I don't believe in good or bad. But they'll know when something's happened to them that they don't like. So how can they not understand that there's good or bad? These people are jokers, man. You have a bugged out atheist saying, I don't believe in good or bad, but make you box him in his mouth, right? And he'll understand that that's bad. He'll be like, that's bad, that's bad, I didn't like that at all. Or make another man take his woman. And he'll be like, I don't like how that felt at all, mate. That something's hurting in my soul. But then he'll be like, nah, but I ain't got a soul, I don't believe in that. These people are all over the place, man. Of course there's good and bad. Of course there's righteousness and there's evil. And the one fights against the other. Which is why the Israelites are the complete opposite to Esau, man. Verse 16, they shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them. They shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols, because they're going to understand that them things that they trusted in and they prayed to at night, all these big buildings that they made in honor of their so-called gods, they're going to understand that those things were nothing more than a building. And any sacrifice that they gave to those things was a waste. And that they was really just praying to themselves. And whenever they thought that these things was taking place because of their God, it wasn't taking place because of that. It was taking place because Yahweh was fooling them and deceiving them with his left hand. Verse 17, but Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end, because the things that we was waiting to see are going to happen. But the things that they was waiting to see did not happen and did not take place, man. The things that they was expecting to see, no, it's not real. They had prophecies that so-called happened, but those were short-term things that they was talking about, man. But if you ask them what's going to be happening in the near future, they don't want to. They ain't really got nothing to say, man. And that's why if some of these people in the world, they talk to a Hebrew Israelite long enough, even these people that claim that they're about the Bible and should know the answers already, they'll start wanting to know what you think is going to happen in the future. They'll be wanting to know what you've got to say. They'll be like, what do you think is going to happen in the future then? When they're the ones that supposedly should have the answer though. And that's because really they're scared, man. Because as time goes on more and more, people are seeing the things that Israelites said are real. And they're seeing that the things that they was hoping for, right, sailing off into the sunset, is not going to happen, man. They're not going to have no Elysium, Sky World, where they got machines that heal every wound that they have. That's not real, man. That's not going to happen. And you've got people like Vocab Malone saying that, oh, God don't exist and all that. That's wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking, man, because there's certain Bible verses that we read that you don't include in your doctrine. You don't include certain Bible verses that we read into your doctrine that you have in the Bible. We've got you. John 3:16 is part of our doctrine, right? We use the scripture John chapter 3 and verse 16. We read it. We read the scripture, there's neither Jew nor Greek. That's part of our doctrine. We work that into our doctrine. But how do you Christians that claim that God loves everybody work in as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated? How does that fit in your God loves everybody doctrine? When it goes into it in the 11th verse of Romans, the 9th chapter, to say that he didn't do anything good or bad and was still hated. So how does that fit into your doctrine of God loving everybody? Or God choosing everyone? Or how some people say that we're all Israelites at the end of the day. That's stupid. How the hell can everybody be an Israelite when Esau had a twin brother who was of a completely different nation and was the progenitor of a completely different nation? And how there was a whole 16 different nations that existed when Abraham was on the earth. So how can we all be, and Abraham wasn't a part of none of them? He became the progenitor of a new nation. So how can it be what these people? Well, Abraham was a part of one, but he still became the progenitor of another nation. So how can these people say these things, man? It's ridiculous. Let me get this. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that have afflicted him and made no account of his labor. So these people have afflicted the elect, man. These people have caused problems in the elect's lives, man. They've been lying about people, man. They've been calling men disgusting terms, man. Thinking that Yahweh didn't send angels to hear them things that they said about them. They've been speaking proudly against men that believe in Yahweh. They've been accusing our teachers of things that are wicked, and some of these people have even accused us of things, man. In our particular area, you might have a little area that you live in or whatever, and your neighbors are going around spreading rumors about you, man. And you don't even know what they've said. You don't have no proof, but they've spread rumors though. And that's why when you walk around your area, people are treating you sideways. You know? They're looking at you sideways. They're treating you sideways. They're looking at you. They don't want to be around you because people have spread rumors. Because they've heard what you're really about. They might have seen you, or they might have seen a video, but trying to keep it hush. And they're running around telling people that you're this and that you're that, because they don't want people to know what you really believe, because they know that it's true. Verse 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for, because they didn't have the true visions of the future, man. They could only understand things up to a certain point. They couldn't see the future as far as the Israelites could see it. They thought that China was going to rule next. They thought, yeah, there's going to be, I believe that there's going to be a war, that's true, Yeah, NATO versus Russia. Yeah. BRICS. China, Russia. Yeah. It's mad what Ukraine did. They shouldn't have never tried to join NATO. Yeah, Finland's joined and they've got underground tunnels and they've got their own military. So it would be hard for Russia to overtake them like how they did Ukraine. Yeah, man. Whatever. Well, for all these people that talk all of that. You people ain't got the visions of the future as far as we can see it, man. To the point where we don't even need to think about things in regards to prophecy the same way as you people do. We don't even necessarily need to go into the details of every single thing that we see, but it's done for the sake of warning the elect for what's to come, man, so that they can be prepared step by step, so that when by the time when it's really here, we've already been waiting for it for ages. Some people have been waiting for this day to take place that are alive right now more than half their life, man. Some people have been waiting for this stuff to take place about like maybe 70% of the time that they've been alive. They've been waiting on this. And really, their spirit that's inside of them has been waiting on it for thousands of years, maybe. If people can receive that. Verse 3. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach, because they're going to remember some of the faces of these people, man. They're going to remember you. If you're of the elect, they're going to remember your face. They're going to be like, oh, man, I thought he was a waste man. But they're going to realize, no, they were the waste man. Or the waste gash. Yeah. Some of these women that try to swerve a brother and be like, nah, man, his hairline's clapped. or, man, he's broke. He only works in, I don't know, I ain't trying to make fun of no brother's job, man. So whatever job you did where a woman laughed at it. Oh, he only does a 9 to 5. I needed me a millionaire, a six figure Negro, right? They're going to realize that, man, you were the bum. Not him. You was the bum. You were the loser. Because you was trusting in this world, but now all those things that he was looking for are gone. So now what you're saying? Verse 4, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. And they thought that our end was going to be without honor because they heard the vision, what we saw of the future. But they believed the vision that they saw of the future. They believed their prophecy that they thought was going to happen. Everyone tries to mock prophecy, but these people with a 10-year plan, they think they're a prophet. They're thinking that they saw a future for themselves that don't exist. All these Christians saying that God loves everyone, they're a fake prophet. Because that's not true. But they've got a prophecy in their mind. But it's not a real one though. It's not going to happen. Verse 5, how is he numbered among the children of God and his lot among the saints? They're not going to be doubting who the saints are in that day. They're not going to be saying we're all Israel at the end of the day. Oh, Hebrews 8 and 10, yeah, it is talking about the new covenants for Israel. But remember, that's spiritually talking about the Israel of God. Nah, man. Nah, fam. That's not real, bro. That stuff that they're talking about ain't real, bro. All these lies that they've been saying, all these fake prophecies that they've been trying to make up in their mind are not real. But the things that we're saying are going to happen, the world's going to eventually see it, man. Of course, it seems like a lie. Everything's so. Listen, let me say it like this, man. Every prophecy is a rumor or doesn't seem real until it happens. Then it was true. And then it was clear that a real prophecy was being spoken, man. When that lockdown came, these people were shook, man. Terrified as all hell. And then all of a sudden people is going back on Netflix series that they saw from 2018. Oh, this Netflix series spoke about this was going to happen. And guess who else spoke about stuff like this was going to happen, man? The people that you passed by on the street and scoffed or threw a bottle of Volvic water at their head, man. Threw bottles of water at them from the window of your workplace when you heard them teaching by your workplace. Threw bottles of water down at them, right? Slashed their car tires, threw a brick through their car window, right? Robbed their car, held them at gunpoint. I've heard stories about that. Held them at gunpoint, punched them up, tricked them into a room, turned out the lights and rushed them with weapons in your hand. All these madness things that you wicked Israelite demons that don't believe that you Israelites have did, man. And all you other scoffers too, man. Lied about men, got them fired from their job, so that your mate can have that job, right? Not realize that, oh, he's short on something that's gonna hinder his life. Or he's short on a car fixture, right? By £20. Nah, I'm not giving it him. The price is 320. I'm not giving it him for 300. I can't do no favors. That's an offense too. That's an offense that's going to be counted. Women spreading rumors on an Israelite brother that they might have used to date. Oh, you know he did this, you know he did that. Trying to jam up their life, their work life and all of that. Spreading rumors about them. Trying to damage their character. All of these things are going to be counted to your charges, man. Verse 6, therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We weird ourselves in a way of wickedness, because you people was getting all into this world, man. BBL, eating batty, right? Gal them leg out every summer, right? Twerkaholics twerking on coffins, right? Adulterers coming up with coded ways to speak about how to steal the next man's wife, right? Just being demons, man, and not saying, you know what, I'm going off when I'm doing all of this, you know. You're thinking in your mind, I'm not going off. You're thinking, I'm right, this is the right way to do things. Rather him than me. That's what you're thinking. But when we're getting beamed up, if we're of the elect, and you people are getting burnt down, man, we're going to be saying, rather us than you. Rather be us than you, man. We weird ourselves in a way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it, because some of these people thought that they understood the world, man. Oh, I don't believe in the God of the Bible. I'm spiritual. I believe in God, but I don't know anything about him, though. That's what these people in the conscious community say. Oh, we believe in God. We understand. We ain't Egyptians. We understand we're not saying we're Egyptians, but we just believe that way. So really what they're saying is that they know that they're the Israelites, man. But they're them Israelites that was wanting to go back to Egypt, man. They like the Egypt way, right? And they're really those Athenians as well coming back in the reincarnation, man. Those Athenians that always wanted to hear some new thing. But they don't understand that. They don't. These House of Conscious community people don't even understand that they're written of in the Bible. And all these speakers, corner people, they don't understand that Israelite. They don't even understand they're written of in the Bible, man. Their spirit that they and the things that they do was in the Bible of old time, man. It's already spoken about people like that. They are them. Verse 7, we reared ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. What hath pride profited us? Or what good have riches with our vaunting brought us all that money, getting that bag? Oh, I'm a high value man because I'm rich. I'm better than you now because I'm rich. What words come out of my mouth deserve to be listened to now because I'm not a loser like you bums. I've got money, so you better. I deserve to be. I've got money, so I deserve to be treated with respect and listened to now. You don't deserve to be listened to and treated with respect if you're telling the truth about what's going to happen in the world, but you're not rich. That's what this world's taught people, man. But when all their riches is gone, because this society's crashed, what are these people going to be saying then? Money don't mean nothing, man. When everyone in the society is stealing, the money don't mean nothing then. Money only means something when people are playing that game of buy and sell, right? But money don't mean nothing when people are playing cops and robbers. When people are doing 5-finger discount. When people say If I can take this person down physically, I'm doing it. Women ain't going to be able to be running around playing that game that they play. Because dates are not going to be the reason why a man gets a woman in that time when all hell breaks loose, man. It's going to be because he can overpower that woman. And this might not be something that people want to hear, but guess what? We're not here to try and lie about things, man. Because we can see the future the ultimate way, the furthest ahead, man. And you people cannot. What have pride profited us? Or what good have riches without vaunting brought us? All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by, and as a ship that passeth over the seas of the water, which when it goeth by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the path of the keel in the waves. Jump down to verse 13. Even so, we in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. And that's going to be a cut to the heart of all you people, man. The main two being the Edomite man and the Israelite woman, man. Because the Israelite woman had no faith, really, in what the Israelite man was talking about. She thought, man, shut up, man. Get a job, bum. That's all this Israelite woman's ever really wanted the Israelite man to do, to get a job that can sustain her. Not a job that helps you out more. A job that helps her out more. That's what she's always just wanted men to do, man. Get some money so that she can have a good life. Not so that you can have anything special in this world. They don't give a damn. And that's why there's a prophecy in the Bible, Micah 7:10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the streets, man. And that's for every Israelite woman that didn't believe that this stuff was going to happen, man. Just watch, man. People are going to see, man. Verse 14. For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with the tempest and passeth away, as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. That's like barbecue smoke, man. When you have a barbecue, right? The smoke's all there in your face, right? And then after that barbecue's gone, you don't know where that smoke went. That smoke's gone. You know, or when you light a match, put a candle on, then shake the match. That smoke comes, then it's gone afterwards. You don't remember where that smoke went. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward is also with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom, right? So the Israelites get a kingdom, man, and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. So they're gonna get a crown, man. And none of these heathen are gonna be able to ever touch that crown in their life. Never in their life. It's not gonna be like them crown jewels that this royal family over here has got, where they can just go and rob things. They're never gonna be able to touch that in their life, man. That's for each person that's gonna receive that to be able to touch that. He shall take to him jealousy for complete armor, and shall make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. Right? I'm going to end the lesson there, man. The Israelites have got the vision of the future, the furthest ahead, man. We can see the furthest, the furthest ahead of all people on the earth, man. They can't see as far as we can. And that's why the things that we're saying are going to happen are the most accurate, man. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.